Okay, I've been contacted this week by several people in Norway pointing out that the rape figures I used in my last video were misleading, as it was only assault rapes that were carried out exclusively by non-Western immigrants, a category that doesn't include domestic rape or date rape, something the news report didn't make clear, but which I'm happy to make clear now. And what this means is that those women who were attacked and raped in the street by strangers were the victims of non-Western immigrants, with the rapist in the video specifically citing his religion as justification and claiming that his religion entitles him to treat women any way he likes. Can anyone guess what religion that might be? I'll give you a clue. In countries where this religion calls the shots, a woman who's raped is likely to be charged with adultery and thrown in prison. She'll need 4 male witnesses to prove the charge, when the only male witnesses likely to be available are the rapists themselves. The testimony of women and non-Muslims is not allowed. In this way, by making it virtually impossible for a raped woman to receive justice, the religion of Islam condones and encourages rape. Right now, an Australian woman is suing her own government for giving her inadequate consular advice about what might happen if she reported being raped in the United Arab Emirates. What did happen is that she was charged with adultery and thrown in prison for 8 months. She's lucky it didn't happen in Saudi Arabia, or she'd have had 100 lashes on top of it, or in Iran, where she might have been stoned to death. Now, there are many reasons why the religion of Islam impoverishes Western society, but the main one, in my opinion, is that it degrades and debases women. Except, of course, for left-wing women who happily degrade and debase themselves defending Islam, like turkeys defending Christmas. A woman in Islam needs to be covered from head to toe because men are not expected to exhibit any kind of basic self-control. I get a lot of correspondence from angry Muslim males, and I've lost count of the number of times I've been told that women, Western women, are asking to be raped because of the way they dress. No other religion teaches people to think like this. Recently here in Britain we've had a rash of Muslim gangs pimping and raping young girls in northern England. I do mean Muslim gangs and not Asians, as the media keep reporting. There are no Sikhs or Hindus involved in this, and to call them Asians to avoid naming the real problem is a slander on Hindus and Sikhs. These men do it because they regard non-Muslim women as subhuman trash. And this poison is coming directly from their religion, a religion whose values are dictated and imposed by some of the most narrow-minded, psychotic human beings on this planet. And coming, as I do, from an Irish Catholic background, believe me, that's saying something. And it's not just white Western girls they target. Hindu and Sikh girls get the same treatment because they're not Muslims, so they too are regarded as trash. But nobody wants to name the problem. We keep dancing around it with euphemism and evasion for fear of causing offence. Well then, I'll name it, shall I? It's Islam. That's the problem. Good. I'm glad we've got that cleared up. All over the Islamic world, men are raised from the cradle to believe they have a perfect right to treat women any way they like. In Pakistan, where the Northern England rapists come from, 1,000 women a year are murdered in so-called honour killings, and a woman who tries to report a rape is likely to be raped again in the police station. They take the matter so lightly. Now, the fact that we import this mentality at all would be bad enough, but what compounds it, what makes it immeasurably worse, is our blind refusal to name the poison at the heart of it, the poison that drives it forward, which is Islam's fundamental view of women as inferior human beings. This is not just unacceptable, it's not just wrong, it's obscene. It's as obscene as any openly racist political platform, and it should be regarded with the same contempt. So why isn't it? Because it's easier for us to filter Islamic misogyny through a convenient multicultural lens that absolves us of all responsibility. It's easier to respect difference and celebrate diversity than it is to grow a backbone. And it's easier to pretend we stand for something and to wear our phony relativist virtue like a pathetic badge of honour than it is to tell the truth and name the poison. It needs to be named. It needs to be shamed. It needs to be confronted and challenged openly, loudly and often, without apology, until it's eliminated forever, for the sake of all humanity. And if we in the West won't do it, then who will? And yes, some Muslims will be offended, because some Muslims are always offended. But they'll be okay when they get used to it. Peace.